bearing with us and working with us to ensure that they do get their new Postbank black card and swapping from the yellow card. This milestone is not only pertinent for us in terms of the progress, but it's also pertinent in the sense that more than half of this 1 million has been achieved in the last 2 months, well, in the last 1.5 months. In January, in February alone, we achieved 46% of this 1 million was achieved in 1 month. And we share this number not for anything else, but also just to emphasize that I think there has been rumors, there has been a conversation about whether we can go through this process, we can do what we're doing. And I think the fact that we have done over 450,000 beneficiaries in 1 month is testament to the system that it is working. It is testament that whatever we've put in place is working. In fact, now in March, as we speak, we already hit, in this first 2 weeks of March, we've already hit over 200,000 beneficiaries alone in 1 month. And again, I'm sure towards the end, when we take questions, some questions will come as to why then have we not been able to reach the 3 million, close to 3 million beneficiaries as planned? And of course, the answer to that has always been the project was always meant to go through the numbers within 6 months. We started last year in September to go through the project, but of course, we only saw beneficiaries coming through this year. But I think, again, we thank beneficiaries for the fact that they've come forward. There's also one thing that we really want to emphasize today. It's around the 20th of March. What does that deadline mean? There has been some confusion around it. And I think it'd be foolish of us not to emphasize the point today. The 20th of March only means one thing. It means that the Sassa Yellow Gold Card or Gold Card Yellow Card will no longer be working. We are pleading with all beneficiaries to please not attempt to use this card post the 20th of March to access their grant. Your account number does not change. Your grant will still go into your bank account, but the ability to access this bank account with a yellow card will cease as of the 20th of March. However, the 20th of March does not mean we are stopping to issue cards. Postbank and Sassa, well, in this case, Postbank in particular, will continue to issue cards even post the 20th of March. In fact, even at the end of March into April, we'll continue to issue cards. We will continue to increase the number of sites that we have nationally. Currently, we're sitting at over 320 sites nationally. We continue to add sites every day. And therefore, we're pleading with beneficiaries to not stop coming through to come and get their card from the 20th. We will be continuing with the issuing of card into April and beyond that. And again, the question that we know that is probably at the beneficiary's mind is, what happens to me if I don't have the card by the end of March? If for the next grant payment, which starts on the 3rd to the 5th of April, what happens to me if I still don't have my black card by then? We have worked very tirelessly to ensure that no beneficiary is left without access to their grant. As such, we've worked with SAPO. SAPO has over 500 branches nationally that will help us to ensure that beneficiaries can go to the nearest post office to access their grant over the counter. This process is easy. All that you need to come and access your grant over the counter is your ID document. You need nothing else to come and do this. And therefore, no one will be left without their grant if you don't have the black card. That's very important for us. And also, if you should so happen that you don't use the post office, you delay that process because you want to still go get your black card, remember, your bank account does not change, which means, therefore, that your money still goes into your account. No one can take away your money. Your grant will go into your bank account. It doesn't matter whether you have a black card or you have a yellow card at the time, your money will go into your bank account. It works exactly the same as any other bank. If someone deposits money into your account, it stays into your account, and no one can access those funds except you. I think that's a second point that we wanted to emphasize today. The third point that we really want to emphasize today was there's some commitments that we had made in terms of this project. And I think it will be good for us to reflect in terms of how we've done with those commitments. And I think one of those was that as soon as we heard that there were issues around queues, I think Postbank and Sassa worked tirelessly to ensure that we manage those queues. We've taken care of the queues. As we sit now, we are managing to get through the numbers on a daily basis, which is really a good thing for us as well. The fact that we're getting through the numbers. We do identify that at the beginning of April, beginning of Feb, it was a challenge to get through those numbers, as we saw drones of people coming through all at the same time at the beginning of Feb. And we have since worked tirelessly to add not only sites across, but capacity within those sites and roving teams to ensure that we take care of that capacity. Again, I think there was a cry around the deadline. If we do recall, there was a cry around the deadline on the 28th of Feb. We did extend that deadline to March. Hopefully that did relieve people of the pressure. I think the one other thing that we really did commit to was around will there be disruption in people getting their grants? I'm happy to announce today that no disruptions was had. Everyone was able to get their grant right through. The yellow card, the gold card worked as we committed that it will work until we say it does not work. We've also committed that the black card will work as soon as you are issued the card. It does work, and we've committed to that commitment. We've kept to that commitment as well. We've committed as well that we'll increase sites as we go on. We have increased sites. Of course, there are regions where there is a challenge on sites. We will not run away from that reality. One of them being the Western Cape. It is still a challenge in terms of sites, not only because we don't have sites where we can exist. I think the challenge within the Western Cape has really been the fact that we are struggling to get resources to mend the sites, but we have the sites for people to come through. And again, maybe talking about the sites, to emphasize the sites, we always have said that it is selected retailers that we're working with. Yes, it is Checkers, USave, Boxer, Spar is also on now, and Pick n Pay, but it is selected stores that have actually partnered with us. If someone wants to know where to get their site, where to go and get their grant, of course, to get their card, of course, we have the USSD that we've provided for people, which is a *120 *355# that you can just dial and find out where's the nearest site for you to go and get your grant. Now, I have refused to read this as is it written here because I really wanted to talk through the process, and hopefully it has provided a lot of clarity around what happens. I think what's important for us, what happens really around the 20th of March. I think the emphasis around the 20th of March, it's only the Sassa yellow gold card that stops working, but we do not cease to issue the black card. You can still go and get your black card even beyond the 20th, even into April. In fact, we are pleading with people to please come through so that at least by the time you get your grant in April, you have your black card to access your grant. I think that's the first point that we wanted to emphasize. I think another thing that we really wanted to emphasize today was conversation around what happens if I am bedridden, if I cannot come and get the card myself. Now, we have worked very closely ourselves with Sassa to provide a process for people to register to ensure that they have access to their grant. All you have to do is to dial the Sassa call center or our call center for people to come and visit you. So you can go to your nearest site or Sassa site or offices for you to register, for us to come visit you. What is most important, though, when you go and register for a home visit, we are pleading for people to please provide, if possible, a medical certificate, your social worker certificate, or a clinic letter that says, indeed, so-and-so is bedridden. This is important for us because we have seen that there are people who are abusing this capability, whereas it's there to provide for people who truly honestly need it. And therefore, we don't want to waste resources. So please go to your nearest Sassa with this documentation to make a booking, and we will follow up on the booking. All you need is an ID and the cell phone number we can get hold of you so that we can actually lock the booking for you. And then what would happen is that someone will come and visit your home to get a proxy to ensure that we get an account number where your funds can actually be transferred to for the proxy that you have nominated to go and get the funds for you. I hope that clarifies as well the process around home visits. Again, I'm not reading this statement because I really wanted to have a conversation today, and hopefully that really provides clarity without keeping us here for long. And I'm going to stop right there and allow for the Sassa acting CEO to join me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CE. May I call the acting CEO of Sassa, Mr. Themba Matlo.
Good morning, colleagues. Let me appreciate the program director, Mr. Alzazi, and also appreciate the CEO of Postbank, and appreciate all of you members of the media. For us, I think it's to emphasize that Sassa pays almost 19 million social grants. And I'm saying this because so that we understand that 15% of the 19 million social grant is the cohort that is paid by Postbank. And we worked together with Postbank after having realized that there is quite an influx of beneficiaries that we needed to support and assist. We made sure that we put special interventions and initiatives from Sassa side to support our people in accessing all the sites in the country, while also to emphasize that there is a regulation in Sassa, Regulations 23 subsection 1 of Social Assistance Act, that provides for beneficiaries to choose the payment method of their choice. To this end, we managed to assist quite a lot of beneficiaries who visited Sassa offices in terms of their preferred method of payment. But over and above, we realized that there's quite a lot of our people that goes to different replacement site of Postbank. And the queue was very long. Then we had to come in and put extra site in a form of special outreach where people, they were able to access at their doorstep. And we also made sure that we provide additional support. We've called officials from the regional offices, from provinces, to go and support and monitor the work done by Postbank so that when we come together as management, we are able to speak from the same experiences. We have done that, and we've deployed quite a number of officials countrywide to support Postbank, making sure that all the queues, the long queues that are there, are managed quite efficiently. You will notice that in some few of our replacement sites, you'll have long queues and not having dignity services like water, chairs, and all that. That's where Sassa came in, and through the model of outreach program, supplied water, supplied chairs where our people can stand comfortably in the queues. So also I think it's important to highlight that Postbank as our partner, we do keep them at our toes all the time, monitoring the work that is happening, and where we intervene, we're able to intervene. So this is what we've done, and we want to assure beneficiaries that it is in the interest of all of us that post 20th March, everyone will get their money. There won't be any beneficiary who will not receive the payment. This is the commitment we are making as the two entities. This is where I can stop with regards to the interventions and the initiative that Sassa is putting in place to support the efficient migration led by Postbank. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the two CA. I am now going to open the floor for questions. I'm getting a reflection, so if I can't see you, you must just raise your hand so that I can see there at the back. Colleagues, the floor is open for questions. I'm sure you know the drill. Is there any other hand, colleagues? Will be the second one and will be the third one.